My name is Daniel. I'm here with Modern Physique, and I'm going to show you how to lose weight as fast as possible and keep the weight off long term. So I was able to lose about roughly 80 pounds, and it took me about 15 months to do so. And I'm about to explain how exactly I did that. So the very first thing that we need to talk about here is understanding the difference between your macros and your micronutrients. Most importantly, your macronutrients. Now, to understand your macronutrients, let's do this. Imagine a wheel in front of you, a plate, and that plate is going to be divided up into 3 different sections, right? Let me zoom in the camera here so you can actually see that. So, within these 3 sections, you're going to have your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. I should actually put a P here, right? Protein, carbs, and fats. Pretty much, these are your main components of food. Whenever you eat something, it's either going to be a protein, it's going to be a fat, it's going to be a carb, or it's going to have a mix of 2 or all 3 of these, right? Now, why is this important to actually know? Well, when it comes to losing weight, it's all about calories in versus calories out. So, if it's all about calories in versus calories out, what do we need to know about this? Well, first, we need to know that every gram of protein is going to have 4 calories, right? You know what also has 4 calories per gram? That's going to be your carbohydrates. Every gram of carbs is also going to have 4 calories. Now, when it comes to your fats, however, that's going to be a little bit different. When it comes to your fats are going to have a total of 9 calories per gram of fat. And let me just zoom in, just make sure you actually can appreciate this. Now, 4, 4, and 9. Now, what exactly does that mean, and why should that concern us? When it comes to losing weight, I did mention that it's calories in versus calories out, right? But what exactly does that mean? Well, your body is going to have something that's known as maintenance calories, or in other words, the amount of calories that your body needs to eat to not gain any weight or to not lose any weight, right? When we think about maintenance calories, the easiest way that I can think of that I've mentioned before that's science-based to help you calculate your, maintenance calories is simply going to be getting your body weight, right? Body weight, and then you're going to multiply that by 15. Now let me go ahead and zoom in here because I do know it is going to be a little bit difficult to see. And let me go ahead and move this light a little bit. You have body weight times 15, and then you're also going to do a plus minus 250 calories. Now, what does that even mean? Simple. Let's go ahead and change in the figure so this could actually make some sense, right? So, let's say that you, like me, weigh, I'm gonna round it out here. I'm currently at 179.6. Let's just say 180, right? And we wanna find out my maintenance calories. Since I'm a fairly active person, I'm gonna go ahead and multiply my current weight by 15. Which, if we do so, comes out to 2,700 calories, right? But let me hop over to this side then, right? So what about this plus minus 250 calories? What does that mean? Well, let's say that you've been eating 2,700 calories for the past few weeks, and for some reason, instead of maintaining your weight, you started to gain weight. You're actually getting fatter throughout the weeks, right? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to use the minus, and you're going to start tapering down about 250 calories, right? Does it have to be upfront? No, you can start tapering down 100 calories, 150, 200, 250 calories to get down to your true maintenance calories, right? Now, on the other side, if you're losing weight, right, at that maintenance of 2,700, that means that that's not your true maintenance. Even though you want to lose weight, we want to do it at a correct pace. So we still have to go off your maintenance calories. So if you're losing weight, we'll bump up the calories by about 200 to 250 calories until you notice that week per week on the scale, your weight is not fluctuating. You're not gaining any weight and you're not losing any weight. These good so far? If you have any questions whatsoever throughout the video, make sure you drop them down below in the comments. That way I actually know what your questions are and I know how to answer them for you. Okay, so we know that we need to eat about 2,700 calories per day to maintain our current weight, right? But I don't want to maintain weight, right? I want to lose weight. I want to get ripped. I want to start melting off the fat. So how do we know, from knowing our maintenance calories, how do we know what to do to actually lose weight? Well, from here, we need to establish what's called a calorie deficit. Now, what's a calorie deficit, you may ask? Well, pretty much a calorie deficit is when you're eating less calories than your body needs to maintain its weight. So it has no other choice but to tap into its fat stores to actually supply energy in the form of calories to your body. So if you do this, if you eat less, that means you are going to lose weight. There's no other way around this. There's no other way around the laws of thermodynamics. Now, I know that for some people, it's difficult to lose weight due to certain conditions and illnesses. For example, I normally don't speak about my personal life much, but my mother does have a condition that makes her metabolism slightly slower due to some thyroid problems. Now, does that contribute so much that it makes it impossible to lose weight? No, it can make it a little bit more difficult, and I understand that people do have struggles, but at the end of the day, calories in versus calories out. There's not a single person on earth that has said, hey, I've only eaten 500 calories per day and I haven't been able to lose weight. You would die of starvation, okay? So, what am I trying to get at? Now, let's get back to on topic. Lose weight, right? So this is going to guarantee you that you're going to lose weight, but do you want to just lose weight or do you want to lose fat while keeping as much muscle mass as possible, or actually gaining more muscle mass throughout the process, actually toning up, getting ripped and lean, right? I'm pretty sure it's the latter, right? So in that case, what do we need to do to actually not just lose weight, but actually lose fat? So check it out. I'm going to break this down as easily as possible. So easy that pretty much anyone, a 5-year-old, can follow this diet and get amazing results, because I followed this diet and I got amazing results. I did this 12 years ago. I was weighing 255 pounds. I had a 44 waist inch. I'm only 5'8". I'm not tall. I'm not short, but I'm not tall. So I was pretty wide, if you know what I mean. Now, here's the easiest way that you can do this without really having to do rocket science. Well, what you want to do to preserve your lean muscle mass and actually be able to gain more muscle throughout the process, you want to eat enough protein. I'm pretty sure you've heard that before, right? You don't have to eat 9,000 grams of protein per day. Pretty much if you eat 1 gram of protein, 1 gram per pound that you weigh, right, you're gonna get more than enough protein. More than enough. So let's use myself again as an example. I weigh 179.6, 180 pounds, right, for this video. So I would need 180 grams of protein, right? Right? So if we want to lose weight, right, and we want to lose fat, we know that we have to establish a calorie deficit and we need to eat enough protein. So what I recommend is doing a slight calorie deficit. Well, what I mean by slight is nothing crazy. Maybe cutting 300 to max 500 calories per day in your diet. Now, if you do this, you're going to be able to lose roughly about 0.6 to 1 pound. I kind of screwed that up. 1 pound of fat per week. And guess what? If you're able to do this diet consistently, which if you're choosing tasty, low calorie dense food, there's no reason why you shouldn't. That's 52 pounds in a year of fat loss, right? So let's actually break this down, right? Let's break this down. We established that my maintenance calories are at 2,700. Feel free to pause through the video and actually get a piece of paper, get your calculator, and do this with your weight. Actually follow along in the video and just type in your sats, right? So I'm gonna go, let's say we're gonna go a little bit more extreme. We wanna lose that 1 pound of fat per week, right? So we're gonna cut down 500 calories, right? So that means I'm gonna be eating 2,200 calories, right, to lose weight. 2,200 calories per day. Now, we already know that I have to eat 180 grams of protein, right? But how much is that in calories? I have no idea. If I see grams, like, what is grams? I don't understand. Let's convert that to calories real quick, right? So we already know that every gram of protein has 4 calories. So we're gonna get 180, and we're gonna multiply that by 4. And if we do that, we're gonna have about 720 calories right there, right? So that's gonna be in protein. Now, the way I like to do this and make it extremely easy, the next thing that I'm gonna look at are gonna be my fats. See, because even though a lot of people give fats a really bad rep, you need to have an adequate amount of healthy fats in your diet to keep you energized and to keep your healthy hormone levels up. In other words, if you don't eat enough fats, your sex drive is gonna go down through the floor. You're not gonna have any sex drive, and your motivation in the gym also is gonna be like crap. So what I like to do is I like to take 20% of my overall calories that I'm allotted to eat and make sure that 20% are gonna come from healthy fats. Now, while it's not exact, I eat around 49 to 50 grams of fat. So let's say 49 for the sake of the video, right? So if you do the math, remember, these have 9 calories, right? That's gonna be about 441 calories so far in healthy fats. Basically, at this point, it's very easy. It's the easiest thing that anyone can do. What you wanna do so far is just go ahead and the calories that you have so far, just add them up together. If you do that, you're gonna have 1,161 calories so far consumed, correct? Right? Allowed it to eat 2,200 calories, we already have 1,161 between our fats and our protein. How many calories do we have left? Well, exactly, we're gonna have 1,039 calories left over in our day to consume, right? Now, from here, I guess the obvious thing we'll do is consume them in carbohydrates, since we already have the 20% that we need in fats to keep healthy hormone levels. We're already eating enough protein throughout the day to make sure that we're maintaining our body mass and actually building more lean tissue, right? So why not just eat the 1,300 calories in carbs? And honestly, you could actually do that. There's nothing wrong with actually doing that, and you're still gonna lose fat. You're gonna build and retain your muscle mass. Now, you could also, these are just personal case-to-case base. You don't need to eat any more than this, but there's no rule that you can't eat any more than that. Meaning, if you find that even though you're eating really rich sources of carbs, as in oatmeal, whole grain breads, a lot of vegetables, fruits, and you're still having a problem with your hunger, you could down the carbs a little bit and up the protein a little bit, just to make sure that you're full throughout the day and you're not suffering. And it's much more likely that if you're not starving throughout the day, you're actually gonna be keeping true to your diet and not cheating and overeating, right? Or if you do want to consume them in carbs, that's pretty much getting and doing about roughly 260 calories. Now, this is actually going to be off. Let me just go ahead and update the math. And what I actually mean by the fact that it's going to be off a little bit, just a little bit, and I need to update the math, is just the fact that instead of, oh, so off, instead of being 1,039 calories, it's 1,040. Guys, do not watch the video unsub. I made a huge mistake here. Now, all jokes set aside, even though I literally was off by 1 calorie, but if you add this all up, we're gonna have 2,201 calories. And what's that? Within the calorie deficit that we established to lose weight. Now, why do I teach this? Honestly, the only reason you need to know this is so you can learn how to visualize this, honestly. Once you get to visualize how much 180 grams of protein throughout the day is, whether it is chicken, fish, beef, and you learn how much fat and carbs to eat by eyeballing it, you don't need to be like super scientific, methodical, weighing out your food, counting gram per gram. No, just eat. Just eat. Eat and look at the scale. Eat and look at your body. If you're getting fatter, eat less. If you're losing weight too fast, eat a little bit more. So, if you found this video interesting and you want an even more in-depth video, make sure you watch this video next so you can have even more fat loss tips. Okay, guys? I'll see you in the next one.